Hello and welcome to Dateline Lagos on Channels Television. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. Coming up on the program, Governor Sanwo-Olu inspects Adiyan Water Project Phase 2. Lagos State Government holds public presentation of the biography on late Dr. Akisaya Ajose, and State Government holds stakeholders engagement on waterways management. Providing potable water for the people of Lagos is essential for the government. And the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has assured residents that the Phase 2 of the Adiyan Waterworks project will be completed within the next 10 to 12 months. Governor Sanwo-Olu made this comment when he visited the project site in the Iju area of Lagos. He says once the project is completed, it will supply 70 million gallons of water daily to meet the growing demand of Lagosians for clean and reliable potable water.
Adiyan Waterworks 2 project is located in the heart of Iju area of Lagos. The project was awarded in 2012 under the administration of former Governor Babajide Fashola to provide safe drinking water to Lagos residents. Unfortunately, the project experienced some delay over the years due to funding issues. Adiyan 2 project is designed to produce 70 million gallons of water daily, and the current administration is racing to deliver it. A major reason Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, his deputy, Kadri Amzat, and some cabinet members are visiting the site to see the progress of work. Before the inspection exercise, the contractor in charge gives a breakdown of the construction of the water treatment plant.
The pipeline work is a tough work because of the depth of the excavation, because of the area. It's not an easy area, it's a rural area. Boys, a lot of traffic, but we were able to interact well with the environment, and we are moving forward very well. We mobilize, we start the work purely on 13th of January, because the month of November and December we spend to reactivate all the machinery, to record the people. It's not easy, even this activity, because after a long standby, also our plants go in default, the batching plant, but we call an expert to fix back, is working fine. Today we are casting the foundation of the disinfection building, and we are working also in other building of the treatment plant. And in the pipeline, we fix 68 pipes since 13th of January. So it means that we are following very well the program, because we achieved 500 meters, 600 meters in 3 weeks. The remaining pipes are like 766. As of today, 178 pipes are already started. Remain 766. So we did, let me say, almost the 10% in 3 weeks. So myself, I'm confident that within the end of September, we reach a good, okay? Of course, to complete fully the pipeline, we need also to import some carbon steel pipe, because the beginning, the end, and in the middle, where is a bridge, we have to fix the carbon steel pipe. This pipe have to come from China. We have a little challenge to face, but personally, I'm working on it to have this pipe as soon as possible here. And actually, I don't have anything to add to the words of the Managing Director of Lagos Water Corporation and the words that spend also in General Kocha.
Next, the Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, as well as the General Manager of the Lagos State Water Corporation, explained the capacity of Adiyan 1, 2, and the areas that will benefit from the project when completed.
For your vision, for your dedication, for your passion, I say thank you. And for those who follow the trend of events in the US, when the governor said we must take our heavy lifting without waiting for donor agencies, it's already been indicated with what's happening to US aid. Digress, US aid promised us $48 million for 5 of our mini and micro waterworks, but Donald Trump had cancelled it. Thankfully, government said this we must take ourselves, and is already doing that. Mr. Governor, upon completion of this, the 70 million gallons, which is 11 million gallons from Adiyan 1, 4 million from Iju, and 4.5 from Chassis, we are sure Lagosians, about 5 or 6 million Lagosians, will have access to pipe-borne water.
Adiyan 1, that exists already, was commissioned in 1991 was paid for by the World Bank Lagos State Water Expansion Program, and it functions today, serving many local governments starting from Sherioke down through Ogudu to Sanwo-Olu, and it meets up with Iju at Carry Bridge and feeds the island through Lagos Island, Ikoyi, and eventually Victoria Island. So in line with the state government's commitment to meet state water demand, the Adiyan 2 project was started in 2012, and it was planned to be completed in 3 years, but due to several delays, this 3-year completion has been unrealizable. I must recognize the efforts of Mr. Governor and the current administration in realization of this project. It was one of the first projects that was visited by your administration on the 10th of October 2019. After the 2019 inspection, a few financial constraints were resolved, but not long after that, we were hit by the COVID-20 that also set the project into another forced suspension. More recently, Mr. Governor's intervention and the unwavering commitment of the state government, payments have been made to both the contractor and the consultant here present today. And I'm happy to inform you, Mr. Governor, that as a result of these decisive actions, we are back to site and we're working. The current project is separated into 3 phases. The first phase is the concrete works, which we saw on the way driving here. It's the actual water treatment plant with the filters and the treatment facilities, the dewatering systems. That's at about 80% completion. The next phase is the electromechanical equipment. They've been procured, 70% of them are here on site. They're stored in containers that were also on the way here. We can have a look at them. And the last phase will be the raw water line that goes from here back to Akute. About 1 kilometer of that has been completed. And 1 kilometer was completed, but in the past 4 or 5 months, they've done another 60 joints, which is about half a kilometer. So we want to appreciate the contractor's efforts in that realm.
After the talk, the team moves to inspect the facility and the laying of pipes. Governor Sanwo-Olu says he will ensure timely completion of the project before the end of his tenure.
We're believing that the contractor is working on all the 3 components, and they've assured us, given the financing plan that we have put together, but in another 10 to 12 months, that this whole place will be a completely different story. That Lagosians will begin now to plan for additional 70 million gallons of water per day entering into the water supply of Lagos. But we still have work to do because at the transmission and connection end, we still have a lot of regulations that we need to go back and have the full complements of this water, and we can be rest assured that if we do our planning well, it should be able to even cross the Lagos Lagoon and get all the way to the island and to some other parts of Ikoyi and Lekki. So our job is not finished yet. Our job, we still have a lot of work to do in terms of reticulation, in terms of transmitting, these huge waterworks. There are existing lines that we're going to utilize, but we still need to build a bit more capacity. But the first real work is the major waterworks, which we've seen, which we've identified this morning. And part of the things that is also coming up, we have an IPP in Akute. We're going to enhance and improve that IPP because for Adiyan 2 alone, it will need about 5 megahertz. So both on the IPP side and on the grid side, we need to be able to provide enough power for them.
The Lagos State government says with the level of work so far carried out at Adiyan 2 waterworks, the project is expected to be delivered in the next 12 months.
From water infrastructure project to the public presentation of the biography on Dr. Akinsoya Ajose entitled The Sunny Side of Ajose, held at Alausa in Ikeja. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who was represented by his wife, Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, described the second head of service in Lagos State, the late Dr. Akinsoya Ajose, as an exemplary civil servant, a loyal officer, and a transformer who dedicated his life to the development of the state and the good of all. Please take a look.
Senior government officials in the Lagos State Public Service, including the head of service, Mr. Olabode Aguru, the chief of staff, Tayo Ayinde, wife of the Lagos State Governor, Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, among other dignitaries, joined the family of the late former head of service, Dr. Akinsanya Ajose, for the presentation of the biography on Dr. Ajose, entitled The Sunny Side of Ajose, at the Adeyemi Bero Auditorium, Alausa, Ikeja. Tributes pouring for the late Dr. Ajose, particularly about his leadership style. And taking the lead is his daughter, Mrs. Keisha Ajose Fisher.
I do have to say it is tough to lose anyone. It is tougher when that loss occurs days before well-laid plans to celebrate his book launch and his birthday. But I am feeling so much more at ease today. And I just wanted to take time up here to thank you all. I see so much love in this room and in the last few days in his community and the way Dad has left an impact in all of us. And my gratitude is insurmountable, unmentionable. Our hearts can be in sync. And when your heart is calm, there is no room for confusion. There's no room to focus on pain. There's no room to dwell on what is missing, but to celebrate what is. And that is that because Dad existed, we all are here today to celebrate a dream of his come true.
Mr. Aguru, who is the current head of service, urged civil servants to do their best by emulating the late Ajose.
The life of the late Chief Ajose is one that will bring hope of reaching a greater height to any dedicated, committed, and focused civil servant and public servant. Through hard work and dedication, he rose to become a permanent secretary and subsequently the 14th head of service of Lagos State. And then became a special advisor in the governor's office during the tenure of Honorable Mr. Babatunde Fashola. It is on record that Chief Sunday Ajose was trustworthy, dependable, steadfast, and courageous throughout his tour of service in the Lagos State Public Service. His significant contribution to the development of the state public service and Lagos State as a whole will never be forgotten. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I believe it will not be out of place if I refer to the late Chief Ajose as a father, a teacher, a mentor, a leader whose policy ideas are translated into positive outcomes in our dear state.
The Planning Committee Secretary highlights Dr. Ajose's impact in the growth of the Lagos State Civil Service.
Dr. Ajose envisioned this book as a blueprint for future generations of public servants in Lagos State in order to produce more Sonia Ajoses in the Lagos State Public Service. That we start from a very humble beginning and rise later in life to assume the position of permanent secretaries and ultimately head of service. The path to manifest the trajectory are the didactic values and virtues embodied in this book. The sunny side of Ajose is not just a biography. It is a compendium of wisdom, a guidebook for aspiring civil servants, and a testament to the power of dedication and leadership. To his close associates, especially those with whom he worked closely.
The author of the book, Dr. Ololade Olatunji, describes the work as a lighthouse for future leaders who dare to stand out in rendering services to the public and humanity.
To a life that was and a legacy that endures. Dr. Ajose had read excerpts, had reflected on the pages that chronicled his journey, and had, with his characteristic humility, smiled at the weight of his own impact. That he was taken before this moment is a painful reminder of the transience of life. that even the great must answer time's final call. But this book is no mere chronicle of public service. It is the portrait of a man whose humanity was as towering as his intellect, whose generosity was a wellspring that nourished all who drank from it, me inclusive. He was a bridge across generations, a mentor whose words uplifted, and a leader whose principles redefined governance. To know power justice was to know kindness, adorned in wisdom, discipline softened by compassion, and power wielded in service of the people.
Dr. Bijoke Sanwo-Olu commiserates with the family and the state on Dr. Joseph's death, urging the people to draw inspiration from his life of service to humanity.
Dr. Joseph's unwavering commitment to excellence was evident throughout his illustrious career. As head of service, he was the epitome of integrity, diligence, steering our civil service towards greater efficiency and responsiveness. His tenure was marked by significant reforms that have left indelible marks on our administrative processes. Beyond his professional achievements, Dr. Joseph was a mentor, a leader, and a unifying force within our community. His role in the Governance Advisory Council showcased his dedication to inclusive governance and his vision for a progressive Lagos State. As we reflect on his legacy, let us draw inspiration from his life of service and unwavering dedication to the common good. I pray that his biography serves as a testament to his remarkable contributions and inspire future generations to emulate his exemplary path.
Dr. Akisonya Jose is a politician and public administrator who served as the Lagos State Head of Service from July 2004 to February 2006. He died at the age of 78 on Thursday, January 16, 2025. May his soul rest in peace.
And finally on the program is the wastewater management. Do you know that Lagos State produced 2.21 million cubic meters of wastewater daily? Well, this is according to the General Manager of the Lagos State Wastewater Management Office, Mr. Adefemi Afolabi, who made this known during a stakeholders' engagement on wastewater management. Mr. Afolabi says 15 estate representatives cutting across the 5 divisions of the state was selected for the meeting in order to achieve the agency's 5-year strategic action plan, regulatory compliance and environmental sustainability for Lagos State.
Lagos has a dynamic real estate market. Moving around the state, you will find quite a number of housing estates built by the state or federal government and also private entities. Some of these estates have a major challenge with disposal of wastewater. The same issue is also very visible at marketplaces, causing air pollution, which may lead to health hazards. How best to tackle this issue is the reason for this stakeholder engagement and community mobilization forum organized by the Lagos State Wastewater Management Office, a step taken by the agency to deliberate on how to address environmental and health impacts of untreated wastewater.
It is very important to come together from time to time like this to discuss the pressing issues that impact us all, the environmental and dangers posed by untreated wastewater and fecal sludge as a result of failing sewage infrastructures and many other reasons which this forum will attempt to address. Our purpose is clear: to address the dangers of untreated wastewater and aging septic tanks, and to work together to find sustainable solutions. The implication of not properly handling our wastewater and fecal sludge is not only limited to seepage into our groundwater resource, pollution, and affecting the quality of air we breathe. The resultant effects are waterborne diseases, contaminated drinking water, and a degraded environment that ultimately affects the health and well-being of citizens. It is therefore hoped that this forum will present an opportunity to impart knowledge, exchange ideas, address concerns, and find sustainable solutions to the challenges faced.
We actually don't want to disturb your business, but when we see things that are going out of hand, that are going to impact on our environment, that are going to cause outbreak of diseases, outbreak of health challenges, and that is the reason why we have come together to say, okay, let's go this route, let's share information and then move on to talking about the way that things should be done properly.
Government insists that indiscriminate channeling of wastewater and uncontrolled discharge of untreated sewage must be brought to an end.
Property owners, developers, private operators, and community members must take responsibility for proper sanitation practices. And so, we must all commit to the following: proper sewage containment and disposal in compliance with regulation, timely maintenance of septic tanks and sanitation facilities, patronizing only licensed and regulated sewage haulage operators. Lastly, holding violators accountable for illegal and hazardous waste disposal practices. A call to action. Ladies and gentlemen, the time for change is now. I won't even say it's now. The time for change for me was yesterday. But the next best time is now. Because if you look at the indices that we have in Lagos, there's, of course, we ought to have started. But it's difficult to you need a lot of scientific approach, a lot of data, a lot of a push to get it right in Lagos. And I'll tell you why. We don't have a static population. Lagos population is very, very dynamic. As we speak, some people are entering Lagos and they are adding to the problems. They are not coming as civilized or clean, folks. They are coming in their crude elements. Where some of them are coming from is the regular way of defecating is bush attack. That's what we call it when we're in school. It's bush attack. And that is the same mentality they are bringing into Lagos.
The State Environmental Law Enforcement Unit gives assurances of enforcing the state laws and seeking support of the people.
Don't wait for Lagos State Environmental Sanitation Corps alone to enforce. There are little ways by which we can enforce the laws too. Like the governor always say, when you see something, say something. If anything that looks like somebody not properly managing waste is happening around you, speak out, especially to the appropriate authority.
The guest speaker, Dean of Environmental Science, Lagos State University, harps on the need to protect the environment in order to have access to clean water.
According to Dako et al., they emphasize that after Australia, Africa is the second driest continent with pronounced scarcity of clean water. And what is responsible for that? High volume of untreated wastewater discharge into water bodies. Who is responsible for it? You and I. It is you and I. And the fact is that until we do the talk, we may not get results.
Provision of potable water is paramount for the government, but the people must manage wastewater appropriately.
Visited the Adiyan Water Works, and phase one is already producing about 70 million gallons and is getting to some places, not yet fully in circulation. And it's not to say it's zero, but we're not where we used to be. We are already moving, but the system will be ramped up, and we want to, Mr. Governor is very, very worried about this. He wants to make sure that before the terminal, date of this administration, he will able to, provide water for substantial, parts of Lagos, which we have started, when you talk about Barua area, when you talk about Abeson Estate and like that. So what government is doing now, these major water facilities that we're revamping and giving turnaround, work on, coupled with some mini water works. Obviously, we're positive, we're very, very optimistic that Lagosians will get water. It's just a question of time in the course of this administration.
Lagos State will produce 2.21 million cubic meter of wastewater daily, and that is a real humongous volume of wastewater being generated daily. And the onus is on us as government to be able to organize the citizens properly and to be able to tell them the right way in which they can manage the wastewater being generated. And in doing that, we come up with strategies and plans. And right now we have a 5-year strategic action plan by the agency. And that strategic action plan is hinged on infrastructural development, it's hinged on regulatory compliance, it's hinged on financial and environmental sustainability, and also is also hinged on compliance, And for this to take place, there's need for compliance of the people.
The Lagos State Wastewater Management Office says the market men and women, owners of relaxation spots, will also be educated on how to channel their wastewater and keep the environment clean.
So that's the program for this week. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. Remember, be the best you can in all you do, obey all state laws, and most importantly, live a healthy life. Till next time, bye for now. And that's the program for this week. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. Remember, be the best you can, obey all state laws, live a healthy life, and most importantly, please stay safe. Till next time, is bye for now.